It's 1 year later, 2011, and I am back at one of my very favorite horse shows here at Dressage at Devon in Devon, Pennsylvania. As always, the show is the CDIW, and I'm going to be competing in it with Winyamaro. This is the breeding stabling that you're looking at right here, and a couple vendors' tents. One of the T-Alt trucks, there's a whole new line of trucks came in this year being sold by Stadium Trucks, Stadium International Trucks here in America, and this T-Alt we used for a photo shoot a few days ago. Really nice truck, even better than the one I'm driving right now. There's the famous stadium, the Dixon Oval is within that stadium there. And actually, you know, it sounds flippant when I say this is one of my favorite horse shows of all time, but after having had some experience at shows that are not my favorite places to go, I'd like to go over some things in this blog about what really makes a good horse show. The first thing, of course, is footing. Now, we had a lot of rainfall right here, and this is one of the warm-up arenas that does not have the new footing in it. I'm going to show you a comparison to one of the arenas that has new footing in it. So this is called the Gold Medal Arena at Devon. It's right next to the Dixon Oval, and it now has exactly the same footing as what they had in the Oval last year. So they have two arenas now with very, very fine, very good horse show footing. I think any competitor will tell you it is a relief to show up at a horse show and find a surface that you know you can ride your horse on and you don't have to worry about injury. This is, I think here you call it a Eurofelt surface, probably because it comes from Europe and it's got these little pieces of greenish felt in it. This is exactly the type of footing that I have in my arena in Fecta. I love it. It's such a good quality footing that I would sleep on it if I had to. My horses really feather off this, and it's a nice versatile footing because you can turn it up and make it deeper if you want to, but most of the time you don't want to do that. Or you can add water to it, tamp it down, or just roll it a little bit to make it a little firmer surface. It tends to be a footing that holds up really, really well in bad weather. In fact, the wetter you make it, the better it rides. So that's, of course, always a boon in this part of the country where we can get some unexpected weather. And look, the sun is shining through here at Devon. That's always a good sign. So the first thing you look for in a good horse show, or a great horse show, is great footing. And there's now two arenas at Devon that have it. The next thing that any competitor would talk to you about is stabling. And this breeding stabling is relatively new. I don't know what year they built it, but I'm going to walk over there and show it to you. So stabling is safe stabling for your horse, where you can put your horse in the box and not worry that he's going to get hurt. That is crucial to any horse show, and this newer breeding stabling is really, really good. This is the entrance to Hilltop Farm. They brought a lot of their breeding horses along, and when I asked my good friend Chris Hickey if they won everything, he said, look inside, look at our ribbons. So I just turned the corner and did that, and I guess I probably shouldn't have asked. So this is a mare and foal in the breeding stabling here at Devon, and you can see they're really well built stables. It's permanent stabling, very safe for mares and foals. Perhaps a tick on the small side for CDI horses, but you know, you can't be totally picky. Very well lit here, I like that. Okay, the third very important element in organizing any horse show is organization. And when you first enter the showgrounds here at Devon, you are met with a whole myriad of signs to tell you where to go. You can't park your trailer here. You drive down this lane here and you're met by, we call these guys pink hats. They're not really security, but they're part of the organizers, and they do check wristbands and they make sure that you're in the right place. But these guys can tell you immediately where you're stabled, which is really nice. You can see this guy's got the stabling chart in his hand. And these things might seem simple to most competitors, but let me tell you, I've been to a few horse shows where I've driven on the grounds and I didn't know where to put my horse, and that's disconcerting, especially after a long, hot trip. So there's an exhibitor parking lot next to the stabling for the breeding and also for the CDI competitors. You're allowed to load. If you turn left around this barn here, you're allowed to unload for the CDI. So we have one of the famous pink hats here for a short little interview. Can you tell me your name?
Rich Kenzior.
So Rich, what do you do at a CDI?
Here at this particular show, we do the stabling, the bedding, the security to horses, traffic in and out to get everybody in and out, and that's about it.
General organization.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, that is a...
pretty much just watch the horses.
Well, when you say that you handle part of the security, what do you mean by that?
Security for the horses only.
Horses only?
The horses and the riders.
So you do night check on the horses?
24 hours.
24-hour check on the horses, okay?
24 hours.
And when you say security for the riders, what do you?
We make sure that nobody gets into your barns. You have to wear your wristbands, and we do keep people out.
Okay.
Judges.
You keep the judges out.
Judges.
I like that. That's cool. So why would security be necessary at an international horse show?
Well, according to the FBI rules, as far as I can understand, they have to have security, and volunteers don't seem to do it. And our particular group is all ex-Philadelphia Mounted Police.
Okay.
So we have the horse knowledge plus everything else that goes with it, and
Right.
we have a little finesse when we have to get what we want done.
You're tough guys when it comes to security,
No.
even though you're wearing a pink hat. I get it.
We wear pink hats so you can see us.
Okay, excellent. Thanks very much for talking to me.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm still talking about security here, and FEI rules, I'm going to have to look up this rule to make sure I'm right about this, but any FEI show I have ever been to, whether it's a CDI 3-star, CDIW, CDI 5-star, doesn't matter, has a fence around the CDI stabling, and no one is allowed in without a wristband. Now, this may not seem important to a lot of people. Here's a wristband. And a lot of people seem to think that the security is for disease control purposes, that you don't want the FEI horses coming into contact with the normal show horses or the local show horses. When in fact, a large part of security has to do with you don't want someone stealing tack. You don't want someone coming in and walking off with all the international competitors' tack, or anybody's tack at a show for that matter, but also to enforce the doping rules, to make sure that there's a sealed off complex where these horses are kept, and you have people going through with 24-hour watch, like our pink cat just told us, making sure that no one is in the box doing something to a horse that they shouldn't be. God forbid that they're in there beating him up or giving him some kind of injection. That's not allowed, of course. And inside this complex, it's always required that you have what's called a doping box, where the horses are tested when they're chosen for doping tests. And these fences are, generally speaking, sealed off after the vet check. See, there's still an entrance where people can go in and out however they want to right now, but vet check is tomorrow, and that should be sealed off, and anyone who doesn't have a wristband should not be allowed in the stable. So the riders can list people who they will allow in, and they can also get wristbands, but no one else is allowed. Even if you're a judge, you're not allowed. Let's not forget that. What I really like at this particular show is that you have such a clear show of security. And you also don't want anybody coming in here fiddling with the horses who doesn't belong at the horse show. No unwanted outside elements. You might think that I'm obsessing about security at this horse show, but the last one that I was at really didn't have security. I had a couple friends who walked right into my stable without wristbands more than once during the horse show, and that was a little bit disturbing for me. So there are many elements to good organization. You can see that here at Devon we have a fire truck on hand. Let's ask these. I think it's a fire truck. It might be footing maintenance. Is this a fire truck or footing maintenance?
This is a fire truck.
A fire truck. So yes. If you get any kind of fire alarm anywhere here in the stabling, you're going to be right there.
Yes.
Excellent. That's a very good safety factor, I think.
And it's here all year long, for all the shows.
It is. Okay. Very good. Here we go. I've just moved away from the fire truck, and there's the ambulance. Obviously, visible presence. These things are very, very important at any horse show. Okay, I got distracted on the way to the show office. I'm still talking about organization, but look at this yellow hat. Is that not the coolest? Now here's the next very important element of good organization at a horse show, especially at the CDI and FEI level. Your show secretary's office is where you need to go with all of your questions, where you get your start times, where you get your results, where you find out when the vet check is, where your horses, actually they don't have the stabling chart, but these are the people who you really need to have on your side, and they need to be there and help the competitors. And here at Devon, it's absolutely a pleasure to walk into this office. You don't find anyone frowning at you because you ask for a results list or ask for the third time what time the vet check will be. Everyone's very nice in here. Okay, so this is Monica Fitzgerald, and she is in charge of the Performance Show Secretary's office. This is the lady who will greet you when you walk in. And isn't it nice that she's smiling? Because I'm telling you, this office will make or break the horse show for you. Monica, is it possible for me to get another wristband?
Absolutely.
Thank you.